Good evening, folks. Look, it was a fairly profitable day when you take it all into consideration. If you had a 10 quid level stake on all the bets, we're in the money. 5-2 winner with the shunter and an 11-2 winner with fancy foundations. So look, that's the aim of the game, to make people a bit of money at the end of the day. If you got on board, obviously, well done. I know I wasn't even on it, which is typical because anytime I decide to bet, it always seems to blow back in my face. But look at, we won't dwell on that too much. Navan now tomorrow. It looks like a fairly nice card. I'm not going to have a bet tomorrow either, so hopefully we're going to pick out plenty of winners anyway, and keep this, I suppose, show on the road, and hopefully aim to end the week on the profitable side. First race off, 12:40. We're going to go with a local point-to-point winner of mine, Geraldo. Geraldo Wolden Stolen. Stolen's local point-to-point for me. It's a very nice recruit for, say, hurdling, and I think the more obstacles put in front of it, and the bigger the obstacle as well, this horse is just going to be outstanding. Really and truly, at the end of the day, it looks classy. It was bought to be classy. It's bred to be classy, and its last win was very classy as well as at the same time. Obviously, it was second in Kilbeggan 2 starts ago, if I'm not mistaken. Very unlucky there that day, and the form has been franked on that one as well. Risk factor, the name says it all. It's a bit of a risk, in my personal opinion. Its form with Ngolo doesn't stand whatsoever. Ngolo obviously won fairly comfortably that day, and even if risk factor had stayed on his feet, it was beaten anywhere between 10 and 15 lengths, maybe even 20 if you take it into consideration. We don't know, but Ngolo was going to win fairly comfortably that day. Next time out, Ngolo went to Kilbeggan, if I'm not mistaken. Never ran an inch to its potential. It blew up, really. to put it mildly, it just blew up, and it didn't it didn't frank the form, and that's why I'm thinking 6-4 is a little bit short, in my opinion. Charcor, obviously, it's a nice, I suppose, option there if you're going against the favourite, which obviously we will be. But I definitely think this Geraldo has got serious potential behind it. Jack Kennedy on form, Gordon Elliott being his local track, and 3-1 is a great price for it, in my personal opinion. Now, moving on to the 110, an each way shout here. We're going to go to Arthur Fonzarelli, currently trading around 5-1. This here is the ladies' race. All jockeys are riders, or all jockeys are lady riders, should I say. But Rachel Blackmore for Henry de Bromhead. Even if it wasn't a ladies race, that combination always seems to turn up very, very comfortably. Rachel is not only the best lady rider in Ireland, with no disrespect to any lady riders out there that's listening in, but Rachel Blackmore is definitely one of the best in Ireland, if not one of the best between Ireland and the UK. So look, at the way I'm looking at it is, regardless the quality of the horse, Rachel's racing mind is outstanding, to put it just plain and honest with you. Really and truly, there's people racing up the roads, but we'll forget about that. Look, at if Rachel can get this horse in any sort of way possible, like if the horse is swinging, come around the final bend and it's in with a chance, I definitely think Rachel Blackmore will have the knowledge and the mindset to push this horse home and just know how to win it, basically. To make a long story short, I think 5-1 is massive for this one here, and yeah, it looks to be a fairly nice race. 145. Another each way shout here. We're going to go on a little bit of a tongue twister, which has been a little bit of a downfall for me in the past, but we're going to take a go at this one. Easy Cash Daleks, currently trading around 10-1. The way I'm looking at it here is McNally looks to have a bit of word going around. I know Ronan is a follower of the page, and I know Ronan has liked a few of the contents here. Whether he's going to like me talking this horse up or not, I don't know. But we're going to talk it up anyway. The way I'm looking at it is it's definitely catching the eye between the two McNally runners here, Dreal Deal and this Easy Cash Daleks. Dreal Deal obviously been back from 20-1 into 10-1. That's definitely the most interesting one in terms of, I suppose, whatever sort of potential it has. But Sean Flanagan is on board this Easy Cash Daleks. That for me gives sort of the impression that this is the first string for this connection here. All you have to do is look back on the form with Ron McNally and Sean Flanagan teaming up. It's just second to none. At the end of the day, all you have to do is look at what the three of them did with the trigger. It's outstanding, and I really hope for Ronan and the team there, the fact that Ronan's a restricted trainer and he doesn't have too many horses in training, most of them, if not all of them, are his own. I would love to see him winning. I'd love to see this horse winning. If you're looking at the form, it's completely... You'd wonder where in the name of God are people looking, backing these horses in. Between Dreal Deal and Easy Cash Daleks, there's nothing but duck eggs between them. They've never really run any sort of a race, but the only positive to that is it's led to the two of them being on very, very attractive marks. Maybe there's a little bit of, I suppose, catching out the handicappers here in this one. I don't know what will happen, but the way the market is speaking, the two of these are going to pull well clear. And I think Sean Flanagan is definitely the right jockey to be on. The fact that he's in tremendous form, and the fact that Ronan McNally has had the season of his life is very, very interesting. And I definitely think Easy Cash Daleks is definitely going to be one to be on tomorrow. Just looking at the market, basically, that's where I'm looking at. Now, 220, we're going to go with the nap of the day, but we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to take a leaf out of George McDonough's book from Galway Bay and nap it each way. But what's the name of the horse? Desi Deschamps at 7-1. It's an each way price, so look at you're nearly better off backing it each way. But this is the way I see this, I suppose, race playing out. Obviously, with Gordon Elliott being a local trainer to Navan, he always loves to have his winners here. He said it here. He said it before. He always loves to have a winner at home. Navan has been a very, very good course for him in the past. All you have to do is just look up the form and look up Gordon's strike rate and everything else like that. But he said it himself in an interview that Navan is a place that he always loves to have a winner. Where he said it, I don't know, but I definitely remember him hearing him say it. And the fact that this horse didn't run any sort of race at all the last time at 11-1, maybe, I suppose, catches the eye. The fact that it's in handicap company, if the horse was, I suppose, in need of a few pounds off its back, Gordon would have no problem sticking the claimer on board. At the end of the day, that's what he normally does. The fact that Jack Kennedy on board is very interesting. Obviously, the horse is going very well at home. Another interesting point is, like, Jack Kennedy is pushing for championship jockey. Providing he gets, I suppose, a clear run for the rest of the season now without any unforeseen injuries or anything like that, I definitely think he has a great chance. Um, so the fact that he's riding in a handicap race, obviously, it shows that the horse is in form, and it shows that the horse is well capable of running off the mark that it's on without having any more pounds being taken off. So it could be interesting. The fact that Jack Kennedy is one of the best jockeys in the country alone is very much eye catching. So the way I'm looking at it here is get on board. That's basically what I'm trying to say to you. Um, yeah, look, at 7-1 is a massive price, and I definitely think with any sort of improvement at all, which I think it definitely does have, it should run a fairly solid race. Now, the 255, another stolen winner here. We're going to go with the next best of the day. We're going to go with premium package 11 to 10. If I'm not mistaken, it's a beginner's chase. Obviously, the fact that it's a point-to-point winner already previously in stolen is very, very much noteworthy. It looks to be a very class act. Obviously, stolen has, although it hasn't been in, I suppose, operation for too long compared to some point-to-point courses in Ireland, it's produced some very good horses. There's been a few horses that have gone on to run in Cheltenham the following year, the following couple of years. So yeah, that's very interesting. I definitely think it's well worth a shout. The fact that it's 11 to 10 is a little bit, it's I suppose discouraging, but the way I'm looking at it here is the only other option you could look at is road to Dubai, another tongue twister for me. Um, yeah, it's a good horse. Obviously, with Gordon Elliott, you have to take that into consideration as well. But the fact that it's getting £9, this premium package is getting £9 off this road to Dubai, as well as being, I think, £6, if I'm not mistaken. But I know it's rated above this road to Dubai. I think it's £6 better off or something along them lines. When you look at that, it's well handicapped, and it's well, I suppose, weighed to win basically. And I definitely think the bigger the obstacles, the better for this premium package. Rachel Blackmore takes the ride for Henry de Bromhead. Two of them combined is like strawberries and cream. Uh, they're just a match made in heaven at the end of the day, and I definitely think premium package will be just that. Now the 330, we're going to go with Fred the Foot at 10 to 3. This one here is more interesting than, I suppose, certain, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Its runs around Navan haven't been necessarily what I would have liked. I was there one day last year when it was running very, very well, coming in the final bend. Obviously, with Navan being one of the longest run-ins, I think it's a 3 furlong running, and it's an uphill running as well, so that doesn't make things any easier. But it looked turning in that it was going to win over hurdles, and with 2 from home, it just faded out of it completely. So that's obviously a worry, but Robbie Power on board, a man that has hit the ground running since his return to the saddle, basically. He's been in flying form. There's no doubt about it. He's just been absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, with John McConnell as well in great form as well for these connections, I definitely think, look, at well worth taking a chance. If there's any improvement going, it's well way to, I suppose, go on and win a race, but it'd be more of a race that I'd be avoiding, really. Really and truly, at the end of the day, it's a very competitive affair. There's an awful lot of these that have, I suppose, good form to the books, and it's hard to, I suppose, make a solid case for any of them to be a dead certainty. But I think Fred the Foot at 10 to 3 is one of the more better valued horses at the end of the day. 405. We're going to go with an each way shout here. We're going to go with Mr. Edmund at 9-1. Um, what? How am I going to put this? Put this politically correct. McKiernan's horses have run very, very credibly over the past couple of seasons, you could say, but they just seem to struggle to get their heads in front. Whatever it is about them, I really don't know, but they just seem to have trouble winning. Now that could come back to haunt me, but I love nothing more to see McKiernan prove me wrong. At the end of the day, it's lovely to see trainers that aren't the big guns and aren't the big dogs, uh, getting their heads in front and getting the well deserved winners. Every single one of them works just as hard as the rest of them, and it's nice to see a winner coming in here. But this is a fairly interesting sort for handicap company. Obviously McKiernan isn't too far away. A Dublin trainer coming to Navan. Navan isn't too far away from Dublin. Barry Brown is a fairly decent claimer. If I'm not mistaken, I looked. He is now a £3 claimer instead of a £5 claimer, but I could be wrong on that. But he's well worth the weight he takes off. He's a very, very good claimer. In my personal opinion, anyway. I could people might disagree with me, but I definitely think look at a 9-1. He's better weighed than most, and it's an interesting handicap debut here. He's run credibly in the past, and he's on a mark that looks, I suppose, exploitable. Um, there's an awful lot of these that obviously are in great form, but they're massively over handicapped in my opinion. This Ross O'Sullivan horse, although I might be proven wrong, but receiving another £9 hike for what he's already done, I don't know. I'd be wary of backing him, to be quite honest. Benefit Run is the horse I'm talking about. He's 9-4 in this, and look at it's hard to know really. At the end of the day, it's another sort of a race that I wouldn't be jumping out of my way to go backing any horses, but to try and find the best, I suppose, value for your pick. I definitely think this McKiernan horse, was it Mr. Edmund, is going to run a fairly big race tomorrow. Now, the final race of the day. Look, it's a chance. It's a fairly, I suppose, outsider's chance basically, but it's a very lively chance all the same. We're going to go with, was it? I can't even read my own writing. Was it sun drenched? I thought it was scorched for a minute. No, it's sun drenched. That horse is currently trading around 16-1. This horse was 13 lengths behind Fernie Hollow in his debut run. Now, when you look at it that way, Fernie Hollow has gone on to win a champion bumper in Cheltenham. Behind it was Appreciated, who was second behind En Violin in a point to point. Trying to name out all the champion bumper horses is trickier than I thought, but there's an awful lot of these that had, I suppose, previously good form behind their books really. Obviously Appreciated was the main, I suppose, fancy for the champion bumper, and Fernie Hollow ran a very, very good race to knock it off its perch. But when you look at it at that way, it was 13 lengths behind. It was bought as a foal for 125,000, and it was sold again as a 3-year-old in 2019, January 2019, for 4,500. Where did this horse go wrong? To go from 125,000 as a foal to 4,500 as a 3-year-old, I really don't know. Something obviously went drastic. Whether they just had more money than sense, instead of, I suppose, something generally that went wrong, or the latter, something just generally went wrong with the horse, and it just didn't look like it was going to run, or didn't look like it was going to be the same value that it was originally priced up at. But when you look at it that way, like, the horse at 125,000, if it even runs half the capability there, it's going to win this race. But the danger is the fact that it was only bought for 4,500 as a 3-year-old is a big worry. But what I'm looking at here, the fact that it was 13 lengths behind a champion bumper winner, any sort of improvement at all will make this horse very hard to beat. The fact that it's 16-1 isn't more so an overprice, but it's an insult. In my personal opinion, I could be proven wrong, but it looks an insult. Obviously, Gordon Elliott's horse here, 4-5. The fact that, like I said, Gordon Elliott, a local trainer, it's probably right at the end of the day. He probably has this horse well tuned for it. But Gordon Elliott horses around Navan in bumpers have, I suppose, ran stinkers in the past. It just looks, I suppose, it looks like more of a race that you can sort of take on the favourite more so than get behind it. At that price anyway, 4-5 is crazy. Compared, like, when you look at it this way, you're going on a small little write-up about its breeding. At the end of the day, that's not good enough for me at 4-5. The fact that this horse has clear form in the book, is 16-1, was 25s, we missed the 25s, but 16-1 is still a massive price. And I definitely think, I'm not going to say scorched, Sun Drenched is going to run a very big race. But look, I'm going to leave it there. It's 22 minutes long. Jesus Christ. This is the joys of the 8 race cards. I find it hard to cut it down to a 10-minute video. But look, we're going to finish it off there. Obviously, keep liking, sharing, subscribing. If you want to follow the articles that I'm writing, I'm going to be writing up one tomorrow for Listowel for the World of Sport website. I'll leave a link in the description below. But www.theworldofsport.co.uk is the website I'll be doing. Yeah, it's free to register. All you have to do is sign up. It takes 5-10 minutes max. And the winners are pouring off the cards. There's another 2 writers like myself getting on board, covering, I think, golf and football, if I'm not mistaken there. But I know there's 2 more people coming on the World of Sport. So we as a team, we're going to be going places now, and we're going to be pushing on to be the best place on the internet for, I suppose, racing tips and just tips in general, and trying to make a bit of a profit. But yeah, make sure to, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure and subscribe for Listowel next week. I'm going to be a very busy man next week doing all these videos for Listowel. And like I said, thanks very much for listening, and make sure to like, share and subscribe.